But you have to be very honest. You have to see business as it is and not make it better, not make it worse. Optimize it. So how do you redirect your focus? By asking better questions. Questions that bring you to the what and the why. Okay, they bring you better answers, they bring you better outcomes. So your result has to be specifically measurable. That's what we've done, Christiane. We measured your event so that the outcome is clear for you. And we stayed focused on the target. Did I ask you once how you're going to do it? I didn't ask you how to do it. I told you what we need to do. So we focused on the target, on the end result, not on the activities on the to-do list you have to have. Now, constantly keep this in mind and know your result and know your why, okay? And then don't waste time and save yourself stress on wasted activities or wasted worries. So when you plan this, you make a list, okay? Take a piece of paper and make 3 columns. On the left side is how, the massive action plan. In the middle, you have the result. On the right side, you have the why, the reason. So when you fill in your plan, you start in the middle, then you go to the right, and then you look at the left. So when you look at your piece of paper, you always focus on this more than you focus on that. That's why it's in the middle of your page. And when you look at your final plan, you always go back to just test, just check. Is it specific enough? Is it measurable enough? Is it actionable enough? Is it realistic enough? And is there a time defined with this? Because in the Swiss Army, there is a saying, trust is good. Verifying is better. So you always go back to your SMART goals, which means are they specific? Are they smart? S-M-R-A-T. So you always make sure you check you have done, we call it in English, the due diligence. Have you ticked off the boxes? And then you know your plan is solid. It works. And then it's only a question of when, not a question if. And that's why we have to change things around in our mindset, in our heart set, and in our actions. You have to understand that we are all in a cycle of life. And there's a cycle of life from baby to infant, to toddler, to teenager, to adult, to maturity, to aging, to being old, and to dying. As we enter a new season of history in the Pilates industry, the most important thing any of us can do is understand where we are right now in our cycle of business, in our cycle of life, to identify current opportunities and create a compelling and strategic vision for the future of your business. So we need to make sure now we are in a place where we can create strategies to understand the stages of life and the cycles of business. Like with life, business has an identical cycle of evolution. These cycles predict most of the growth, its potential, and its problems you may face to be best prepared. This picture is preparing you for what's coming in your business. In your business, you start your business. Then you start to learn how to survive. Then you learn how to walk. Then you start to think you know everything, and you're going to start to do silly things, stupid things, because you don't fucking think. You know better. You're a teenager. And then you're in young adulthood, where you're having more reason, more structure, more experiences, and you start to take better decisions. Then you are at your maximum maturity, at your best years. So let's look at the different stages and maybe take some notes. Stage 1 is a stage of certainty. Okay, it's the beginning of a new. It's certain you're starting something and you're in a place where everything is going to happen for you. Okay, your business has been started with you having taken a significant personal risk. That's where the visionary, that's where the entrepreneur and the creator, so the artist in you have, spoken out loud. And now it's all about learning how to manage this. Mostly you work at this stage to meet your own needs and hence have a job, not a business. It's not really a business yet. It's a job. When you start being a Pilates teacher, for you right now, Ida, it's a job, but you need to turn this into a business. Otherwise, you will always just be a teacher. You want to be more if you want to have more freedom, also financially, and more joy. And you are primarily managing yourself. It's a one-man show. To succeed, you need to think of the needs of the business as a different form of your own needs. Change is a given. Progress is not. I was not progressing anymore. I was regressing. You always come back on your learning. You always come back and you start from where you left it best. That's the idea of reincarnation. And the idea of reincarnation in business is the same. You want to be able to reincarnate in your business in the right time, in the right place. That what can be foreseen can be prevented. It can be optimized to serve a greater outcome. It's like in winter, will you go and sleep naked outside? Well, you are protecting yourself from winter, foreseeing and taking greater decisions to maybe put a jacket on and maybe put some shoes on. Like same, it's summer, it's stinking hot. You're gonna go outside walking with no water, with no sun protection, and then you're gonna imagine things are gonna work out well. No, like in business, you need to have a certain understanding of seasons. Each of the 4 seasons has its own characteristics, its own opportunities and advantages, as well as challenges. So the season in spring for business is the creation of something new, okay? In spring, by default, new things are happening. The energy around you is happening this way. Renewal, growth, and new beginnings. And that doesn't mean necessarily that your business is happening in spring. It just means you are in spring in business right now. So renewal, growth, and new beginnings. That's where I was in winter. I had spring and winter because it was winter, okay? When I started Eva Pilates. I launched Eva Pilates in February. That was my springtime. I was full of optimisms. There was an opportunity to create the Congress. I was full of creativity, full of innovation. I was excited. I had all these ideas. I had the idea of the inner circle, but I didn't know how yet. It wasn't there. And we're going to have all these products ready, all these courses and blah, blah, blah. And the mastery program had just started. So everything was great. There are 4 keys to profit versus sale. There is a way, a very simple way to have more profit. And that's how we're going to finish today. We increase the number of our clients. We increase the average transaction value, so the price. We increase the frequency of which clients come and buy something with us, so we get more residual value out of each customer. More recurring revenue, okay? Ongoing revenue. So I want you to do this exercise. How many clients roughly do you have a week? Let's do Pilates, okay? Pure Pilates. How many clients do you have a week?
So in my bad week, I have 10 clients.
Okay, so put 10. Number 10 in the first block. How much is a session? Average.
140 without abo and in abo,
Cheapest.
150 with abo and 140 without in abo.
But that's where I hope, as a visionary, we're heading. That's where I would like for us all to go, because that's really what is available. This is the opportunity we have together. But if we don't take it, then that's fine. So remember, from business optimization to wealth, it's not what you make in earning, it's what you keep. It's what you optimize that matters.